Pirates Cove Tavern was a smoke-filled den as me and some of my old rodeo friends, arm in arm, we went staggering in. We were a hell-raising crew. Cowboy hats pulled down low on their faces. My Navy uniform looked so out of place as we showed.
Here we are in the Country Music Hall of Fame. John Rumble.
R-U-M-B-L-E.
John Rumble. And your position is?
Senior historian.
Wonderful. Okay. You know, I was a French horn player in my high school band named John Rumble. Was it you?
Where was this?
Coral Gables, Florida.
Oh, I'm sure we're related.
Yeah. So we're here at the Country Music Hall of Fame with John Rumble, and we are here with Ron Oates.
Ron came into the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum, specifically to the library, I don't know, must be at least 10, 12 years ago, to donate some of his arrangements, which I was very pleased to accept. We struck up a friendship at that point. Then when we were assembling the exhibits for the new museum, this museum opened in 2001. The earlier museum had opened in 1967. But when we were assembling exhibits for this museum downtown, we wanted to do a display on studio musicians. And I knew Ron, and I thought, hey, let me ask Ron what he has that he could loan us. And it turns out he came up with the first synthesizer he had. Now, it's not displayed out horizontally, it's displayed turned on its end.
It's too big.
That's the only way. That's the only way we could get it into the case.
They made them a lot bigger back then.
What was it? What make was it?
It's a Yamaha GS2.
Okay.
It's actually one of the first digital synthesizers that Yamaha made. And the sounds weren't on board, they're on little strips of digital tape, and every time you wanted to change sound, you had to slide a piece of tape in.
Oh, for heaven's
and
sake.
let it download it or upload it, whatever it was doing.
But I can assure you that Ron's synthesizer was heavy. I could not lift it by myself, so I had to take a fellow with me. And actually, he did the heavy lifting, and I just supervised.
That's a heavy thing.
Did you cart that to sessions, or
Oh, nay.
was permanently installed in the studio?
Well, no, we have cartage services.
Oh, well, somebody carted it, right?
Yeah, somebody carted it.
A couple of somebodies.
No, we have cartage services, and they store the instruments and bring them to the sessions and set them up for the players, and then at the end of the session, tear it back down and haul it to the next studio. All that.
Well, see, I was confusing your situation with our Navy days when we were the cartage experts.
We were cartage.
We're the
That's right.
plage and cartage. Yeah.
I used to haul that Wurlitzer around.
Oh boy, that's heavy.
Yeah.
So, what's your impression of Nashville as a city, as a place to live?
Well, it's gotten a lot better since I moved here. I'm just kidding. No, seriously, it's improved dramatically. When I came here, downtown was virtually dead or dying. It's just a different place.
Ron, I guess you've witnessed an awful lot of that too since you came here, huh? What was it like when you first got here?
When I came here, 16th Avenue basically was Music Row. RCA was on 17th. The Fender Building was on 17th. Not much else but houses on that street.
What would you say? There have to be some things about the city that time has erased, that you miss. Certain features about the place that maybe a more small town feeling, maybe a closer knit community, or is that?
The music community itself was so small when I moved here. We talked about this yesterday. We had our own bowling league. Everybody was in the bowling league. Everybody. The musicians, the background singers, the engineers, producers, artists, Everybody bowled on Sunday night at Donaldson Lane. To Donaldson Lane.
Even shipping clerks.
Pardon me?
Even shipping
Oh,
clerks.
everybody in the business bowled on Sunday night at Donaldson.
Very tight-knit community then, I would think.
It was indeed.
Yeah.
And now you can go to play on a session, and there may be somebody on there you've never seen before.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, the number of studios has expanded
Uh-huh.
so greatly. There were, I'd say half a dozen or fewer studios when Ron came in '69, right?
Mhm.
There was Woodland.
Uh-huh.
There was the Columbia studio, which had been Bradley's, RCA. Trying to think of the other ones.
Nugget.
Nugget.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Fred Carter Jr.'s place. And the new kid on the block was Jack Clement's studio.
That's right. Over on Belmont.
Yeah, which is now Sound Emporium.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
But does Shelby control that? Shelby Simpleton?
His is next door.
Right.
That's right. His studio was there. The first time I ever worked over there, I broke a bass string on that piano in Shelby's studio.
What did he say?
Well, they weren't happy. they weren't pleased about it. How do you break a piano string? Then I broke one about a week later at Fred Carter's studio. Kind of heavy-handed.
Your percussive left hand.
Yes, it is. Exactly.
You did not know your own string.
I had no clue. And the pianos weren't ready for me. But that was the end. I never broke any more. They must have used reinforced strings after that.
He said modestly.
They just weren't ready for me. But they got ready.
Do you have any idea of how the amount of recording business that goes on in Nashville compares to, say, Los Angeles or New York? The same,
No.
more or less?
No.
Probably more, huh?
It's hard to tell because those larger centers, such as LA, they do a lot of film work and TV work. Same in New York, so we don't have a clue about any of that.
But it's interesting, I think. You can find musician after musician who has moved from either LA or New York.
Uh-huh.
That's why they'll call Nashville sometimes the third coast.
Okay.
They find the living so much easier down here. The pace is slower. It's easier to get around. The environment is much friendlier. So a lot of folks have come down here to record and then just stayed.
Yeah. That's understandable. It's a beautiful city. It really is. Spent a little bit of time here, enough to know that it really is very hospitable.
When Mike was still in the Navy, he's retired now.
Both.
No, he's retarded then. He's retired now. Right after I moved here, well, not right after I moved here, probably 6 or 8 years after I moved here, I had him fly in from wherever he was living in
Washington, D.C.
Washington, yeah, and play on 2 different albums that I was doing, that I was arranging. One of them was Bobby Braddock album for Elektra, and the other one was Red Lane album for Elektra. And I had Mike come in and play in the horn section.
Not bad.
Fun too, wasn't it?
Oh boy, was it? Yeah.
We still
Those Red
love
Lane
those.
sessions were just absolutely, I think the best thing I ever did. I mean, it was so fresh, and the whole feeling in the studio was excitement, and
We cut them both at Tree, as a matter of fact.
a horn section, and well, that wasn't really country music. That was more, what would you call it? Country blues, or Red Lane is just unique. You know, he
It's
really
definitely
is.
unique.
Yeah. The other thing that I did was I played a solo on a Billy Joe Royal
Billy Joe Royal.
single. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I forget the name of the tune.
I don't remember either.
I think Linda Kay actually replaced his vocal on that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We had a version of him and a version of Linda Kay.
Right.
Linda Kay Lance.
I know.
Or one of them.
First ex-wife?
One of the many.
That was my second ex-wife. Yeah.
But we won't get into
No,
that.
no, that's enough.
Well, this has been just exactly what I had hoped it would be. You know, this has been really a pleasure to be here with you, and I appreciate your time that you've given us. And I'm wondering if you have any closing thoughts that you'd like to add, either one of you guys.
I'm kind of glad it's over.
Well, no, I'll say this. Ron has not only been a friend, he's also been a great resource person. I do a lot of research. I do a lot of work on our reference desk, assisting other researchers. And a lot of times I won't know the answer to a question. If Ron doesn't know, he can refer me to somebody who does know. Also, Ron has been a great supporter of the Oral History Project. For the past several years, he has supported us financially through the Friends of Oral History, or Friends of the Oral History Project. And he's quite a researcher himself, as you know, having interviewed a lot of the studio musicians. So I'm delighted to help in some small way.
Well, it's really, it has helped a great deal. What this, eventually what we would like to see happen, we have the Navy Musicians Association Archive Department, is to open a museum for Navy music. And we haven't really gotten too far with it yet, but we're working on it. And it will probably be in Norfolk, Virginia, where the Navy School of Music is now located. It was in Washington, D.C. when Ron and I went through the school.
You could put it there and then no one would ever go.
I'd rather see it in Washington personally. I really would.
Yeah.
Now, that's kind of the center of, Norfolk, Virginia. Well, it's a great place, but it's not Washington, D.C., At any rate, maybe you'll come and work for us one day, huh? We're going to have some massive salaries to offer, like the one I get. Zero. Well, thank you very much again for your time. And once again, this is Ron Oates, and this is John Rumble.
My pleasure, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.